What up? I'm back with another tier ranking video, and today I'm going to rank something that I'm very passionate about because I'm getting old. I am going to be ranking like 90s and 2000s childhood Nickelodeon, Disney, Cartoon Network TV shows because I'm now at the age where I think everything in my childhood was the best, so it's time to rank them all. Let's get it. So before we get into this, the list that they gave me of all the TV shows was absolutely massive. In fact, one of the tiers that they suggested was never seen before, and I'm only doing the ones that I have seen, otherwise that section of the tier list would be massive. So let's start this up. Okay, first up we have the Teletubbies, a classic. Absolute classic. Oh, you know that the girl in the sun is like, what, she's like 20 or 23 years old or something like that now. So just kind of, if that doesn't make you feel old, nothing will. You know what? I say Teletubbies was a solid banger. It was always entertaining. We're gonna yuck it under B. Next up in 5, 4, 3, 2, it's iCarly. Honestly, I don't remember like getting home from school and being like, I want to watch iCarly. It was very much just like, if it was ever on, it was on. I did enjoy it, but I was never like religiously watching it. So I'm gonna go iCarly B as well. Yeah. Shaun the Sheep. Weirdly enough, I think I watched more Shaun the Sheep than I did iCarly. It was really big back in England, and yeah, I just remember a lot of Shaun the Sheep. I can't tell you a single storyline that happened in Shaun the Sheep, but I remember watching quite a bit of it. But I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm gonna put it as C. I don't consider it background noise because obviously I was watching it, but the fact that I can't remember a single storyline, we'll go with C. Wasn't there a Shaun the Sheep movie as well? Alright, what's new Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. And to solve this mystery of where it should be ranked, I love Scooby-Doo. And in fact, there's been so many renditions of it. Like, most recently, what, Velma came out, and it's now, like, the least ranked show of, like, history at, like, 1.3 on IMDb or something. But that's not a reflection on this Scooby-Doo, because this Scooby-Doo slapped. The theme song, everything about it was top tier. I'm gonna go Scooby-Doo A. Yeah. This is definitely one of the better Scooby-Doo series of the lot. Alright, Ben 10 Alien Force. I remember watching this as a kid, and I remember playing the games, but I could not tell you a single one of those, the names of the creatures he becomes. I can't even remember what that's called. I know he has the Omnitrix. I don't know. No, I'm a fake fan. I'm gonna go Ben 10 Alien Force C because I can't remember anything about it. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Again, I'm not sure if that was big anywhere else other than England. I remember in England it was a massive thing. Yeah. I don't think I watched a lot of it. I think it was very much just when it was on, it was on. And I'm talking when I was younger. I wasn't watching it when I was like coming out of high school. So I'm just going to put it as background noise because I don't think I had that many strong feelings towards Clifford. Yin Yang Yo. This was, I think, pretty sure this was Cartoon Network. Maybe. But I remember this being really entertaining. I can't tell you, again, I can't tell you the storylines of what happened, but I remember watching it and being really entertained by it, because there's the two bunnies, Yin and Yang, and then Yo's like the master, I'm pretty sure. I remember it being really fun. But because I can't remember any story, I'm going to go B, because I do remember tuning in quite a bit to it. Ed, Edd and Eddy. I wasn't really like that big of a Cartoon Network person. There were definitely some that I watched, but Ed, Edd and Eddy, I feel like I'd never really got into. I don't know if it's because they're all boys and I'm really gay and they were kind of gross, so I couldn't really relate to it. I feel like this is pretty controversial, but I'm gonna put Ed, Edd n Eddy under background noise. I know there's like some hardcore Ed, Edd n Eddy fans that would be like, what the hell are you doing? But to me, personally, I can't really get behind them. Alright, next up, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Oh, this truly an underrated bop. I watched that entire series from start to finish, and I was real sad when it ended. I still kind of remember the finale. I remember it being real dramatic, and then Ned got together with the girl, I'm pretty sure. But I really enjoyed it. I think they're coming out with a new podcast soon as well. I'm going to put Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide under A, because I do remember it being a bop. Alright, Thomas and Friends. I don't know why I included this one. I remember watching it when I was like 5. And I've recently seen TikToks about it, and it's actually kind of dark. Like, there's a TikTok of one of the trains being trapped behind a wall, and then basically like, oh, the other trains are making fun of it because it can't be used or something. It's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty dark. I guess as a child, I was just like, trains go choo-choo and they talk. C. We'll go C. Now, next up is Adventure Time. I didn't really watch this. I actually started watching a little bit as I got older, mostly through YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I don't really have any thoughts on it, to be honest. And because of that, I'm gonna put it under background noise. Just because, again, I never really watched it, but when it's on my phone or something, I watch the clips and I'm like, sure, whatever. So, Adventure Time, background noise. Alright, Call Her, Beep Her. If you want to reach her, it's Kim Possible. This is instantly an S tier, and I'm going to tell you why. Kim was just the it girl for me growing up. She kicked ass, and she was living that double life. She was still getting good grades at school, and then she had the beautiful romance with Ron. You know, Ron was the first ever person in, like, the history of the world to get out of the friend zone. And it was such a slay. The storylines, her progress, and then the 4th season outfit change might be controversial. I loved the outfit. It was very fashion, very sleek on her. And then, like, some of the other storylines, like with Dr. Draken, Shigo, the villains were just, again, so good, so entertaining. And also Raven Simone was the best friend. Kim Possible, S tier. Also, I don't know if y'all went through it, but there was a time in high school when everyone had the Kim Possible text tone, and it was so annoying. Like, there'd be like 500 of us in an assembly, and then all you hear is burp, 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 burp. So shut up. Alright, Jackie Chan Adventures. I'm not sure how popular this actually was, but I loved it. I thought it was great the way they had to collect the talismans, and each one had different power, and it was real fun, real dramatic, and then the little intro where Jackie Chan was like, he turned human for a moment in the anime, and it was real funny, and the fact that Jackie Chan actually played Jackie Chan. I love that show, and I'm gonna give it an A because I love fighting shit, so slay, get a Jackie Chan. Big Time Rush. Weirdly enough, I was more into their music than I was the show. I remember, because I'm a big fan of boy bands, so like I remember like listening to all their songs and stuff. But their TV show, I couldn't really tell you much about it. I don't think I can really even tell you their names. So I'm gonna go Big Time Rush as a C. Oh. Nah, Big Time Rush actually is background noise, because again, if I'm just listening to their music, it really just is in the background. So yeah. Big Time Rush, background noise. Alright, next up we have Recess. I remember this vaguely. Like, I remember some of the characters and like some of the attitudes that the characters had, but I can't remember much about what the storylines were or anything like that. I do remember it like being on when I got home after school, and like it was just kind of there. But I think I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna put it as C. Alright, SpongeBob SquarePants, finally one. I know every single storyline, every single character, the lore, the actors, you name it, I know it. SpongeBob slaps. It slaps. I don't know what else to say. You either love SpongeBob or you hate SpongeBob. I love it, clearly. So I'm going to put SpongeBob under... We'll go A, because I feel like S is being a bit too generous. Yeah, we'll go A. Alright, Wizards of Waverly Place. The way Selena Gomez embodied Alex. Like, let's be honest, Alex Russo is probably the most relatable Disney character we'll ever meet. And she did such a good job with bringing that character to life. And the entire family was so entertaining. Like, you know, like sometimes there's those, like, Disney or Nickelodeon families where one of them is usually a dud and you just kind of like, you kind of bear with it to get to the rest of the family. I loved every single part of that family. Even, like, the mom, the dad, the brothers, Harper, the best friend. It was all just so entertaining. And they're also the only Disney Channel show to win an Emmy. They won an Emmy for their movie. So, was it what place? S tier. S tier. Oh, alright. Next up, That's So Raven. Quite possibly the greatest Disney Channel show to come out of that era, of the early 2000s. And I'm just going to say it, S tier immediately, because the way Raven was just so phenomenal. The whole crew worked great. The storylines were so good. They touched on some really important ones, like the racism one. That was just so, like, incredible that they actually touched on that being a Disney Channel show, because, like, you know, Disney, they want to, like, fluff around the good stuff and they don't really want to show the bad in the world. But the fact that they actually did that and did such a good job of it, and it helped me learn about racism at such a young age, I was like, phenomenal. And just such a good show, and absolutely get up there to S tier. Alright, The Emperor's New School, I'm pretty sure. It's the TV series from The Emperor's New Groove. I remember being a massive fan of the movie, but I could not tell you much of what happened in The Emperor's New School. Like, he was a student in the school, right? I think. But, like, yeah, again, New Groove, great. New School, can't remember, so we'll just put it under background noise. Oh, no. No, I enjoyed it, though. I know I enjoyed it. C. We'll go C. Alright, next up, Cosmo, Wanda, and Timmy Turner, the Fairly Odd Parents. I love this show. This was so much fun growing up. I just found it really entertaining. However, I didn't realize it was going on for the longest time. Yeah, there was still episodes going up to like a couple of years ago. There might even still be episodes now, I don't even know. The only reason I know that is because there was that TikTok that came out where Timmy made a secret wish and apparently had made himself stay 10 years old for 50 years. That fucked me up. That was spooky. But yeah, The Fairly Odd Parents, highly entertaining when I was a kid and a teenager, and honestly, it's like one of the most common gay cosplays you'll ever see. So let's go with Fairly Odd Parents, A. Alright, Arthur. The one thing I remember most about this is the theme song. It's like, hey, have a wonderful kind of day. I remember DW being a little bitch. God, she was annoying. And I'm pretty sure that, again, was going on for the longest time. I didn't even know, and just wrapped up recently. Because the finale was, like, them older, and it showed them in the future. We'll go Arthur B, because it definitely was fun. Alright, Pair of Kings. Now, if you don't know this, basically, I could not tell you the actors' names, but one of the guys was on The Sweet Life on Deck, and then the other one was Mitchell Musso, Oliver from Hannah Montana. They become kings, or they found out all their brothers and they're kings. They're kings, and they're on an island, and they get somehow brought to it. It was just one of those ones that was kind of like a spin-off of well, not a spin-off, but, you know, the actors from the main series went to do something else to remain on Disney. Background noise, I don't really care about it. Lilo and Stitch. Again, I remember the movie. I don't remember much of the series, but I know I enjoyed the series whenever it was on. Storylines, couldn't tell you, but I think I had a fun time watching it. So I'm going to put Lilo and Stitch in the C. The Powerpuff Girls, absolute icons, absolute legends. Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles. I'm gonna be the prettiest princess of the party. We'll go Powerpuff Girls A. Because if they weren't so many kids' gay awakenings, I don't know who were. Next up, Rugrats. As you can see, clearly a stan of Miss Angelica Pickles. I remember it being really entertaining. I really enjoyed watching it when I was growing up. So I'm going to put Rugrats under an A, because they had some great storylines for being babies, and I thought it was just real fun. And then also like the parents just being like real parents, like not like Hollywood parents. They were just like real downbuzz sometimes, and I was like, great, I get that as an adult now. Kenan and Kel. I remember being obsessed with this show growing up. And I'm pretty sure there was one episode where I think one of them was gonna leave town, and it was really sad. And I got really depressed about it, but then they turned it around and it turns out they didn't leave or something. And it was like, oh my god, thank god. And the orange soda and all that kind of crap. I'm gonna put Kenan and Kel under B, because I remember it being a banger, but not as much as a banger as the ones in A and S right now. Alright, Teen Titans, the ones before Teen Titans Go. I remember this being really entertaining. I don't think I watched it religiously or was constantly looking out for it, but it was one of those ones when it was on, I was curious and enjoying it. We'll go Teen Titans C, because I definitely feel like as I'm getting older, I'm enjoying these shows more now. But back then, it was very much like it was there, and I was enjoying it. Alright, Drake and Josh, a classic. I feel like if you were in that era of these Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network shows, you had to know about Drake and Josh. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. Obviously, we don't talk about Drake anymore, the infamous Encanto song. But again, it was good. It's kind of similar to iCarly. I wasn't like going out of my way to watch it, but when it was on, I was really enjoying it. So we'll go B. Alright, now it's time for the legendary Hannah Montana. Basically, my idol, my icon. The one who proved that I can put on a wig and live another life, and then take it off and live a normal life too. Hannah Montana is literally the storyline for the majority of the world's drag performers. So I'm gonna give Hannah Montana an S, because she slays. Her music today still bops, and I just can't get enough of Hannah Montana. Also the name, slay. Alright, next up, Lazy Town. I remember this. I remember being really into the songs. I remember just recently, well, not recently, over the past like few years, that Cake song being remixed with Lil Jon. That was in my head for the longest time. But I think Lazy Town was entertaining. Couldn't tell you a storyline. I remember the two humans in it, or the three humans, because the bad guy was a human as well, being quite entertaining. So we'll go Lazy Town B. Yeah, Lazy Town B. Alright, next up, Barney. I mean, slay. I can't remember anything about Barney, because I think I was too young when I was watching Barney. So then more or less it was just there on the TV as I was, you know, figuring out my life at 4 years old. So we'll go background noise for Barney. Alright, the Wild Thornberrys. I like the Wild Thornberrys. It was a fun concept. It was a fun show. I really liked their family dynamic. I remember the movie stressed me out when Eliza lost her ability to talk to the animals. I'm pretty sure that was the movie. Because I watched that in the theater and I was like, what? No! And like being real sad about it. We'll go Wild Thornberrys B, because I did enjoy it. Alright, next up, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. This was one of my favorite shows growing up. I loved The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Not just Zack and Cody, but like London Tipton, Maddie, Mr. Mosby, Esteban. The whole crew was just such a fun show to watch, and all their storylines were crack up, and the way they grew up as the show went on worked really well. I loved it. I'm gonna go Sweet Life of Zack and Cody A. Alright, now The Sweet Life on Deck, the sequel. I don't know. I definitely didn't like it as much as The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Because they brought in Debbie Ryan's character. Can't remember her name. But like, I thought the concept was fine. It was definitely a nice way to carry on the sweet life of Zack and Cody, especially since they started off so young. They might as well keep going with Disney. But yeah, compared to what it originally was, I'm just gonna put it under B because I still enjoyed it. Alright, next up we have All Grown Up, the sequel to Rugrats. It's basically, if you haven't seen it, it's literally all the Rugrats and they're like in high school and stuff and dealing with like high school things. I thought it was fine. I remember watching it a little bit when I was in high school. It was actually kind of worked out perfect because the time I was watching All Grown Up, which I think was intended, was that I was grown up and going through some of these problems. But like, again, I think it was more the nostalgia of Rugrats versus the reality of All Grown Up. So I'm going to put All Grown Up into C. Alright, Totally Spies. These three girls changed my life. The way I was obsessed, the way they would just live in that Beverly Hills lifestyle, and I just wanted to be a part of it so much. Literally, when I was looking up to be in university, I looked up Malibu University, because in season 4 or 5, they go to university, and it's like the most gorgeous thing in the whole world. It's just, oh, and they're just so slay. The way that their gadgets are like laser lipstick and stuff, it was just the little compact that was their communication device. Oh, Sam, Clover, and Alex will have a special place in my heart, and I'm gonna put them under S. It might be because I'm gay, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Alright, next up, Phineas and Ferb. I liked Phineas and Ferb. All their songs were really fun, and whenever they had a song in an episode, I really enjoyed it. But because it was such a long series, I'm pretty sure I petered out maybe like in season 3, because I know it went up to season 4. But the thing is, like, each season was like huge. It wasn't like 20 episodes. It was like a lot of episodes. But just because I lost interest in it, as I think there was just so many different storylines, I'm gonna put it under B because I still enjoyed it, but like they gave out after a while. All right, American Dragon Jake Long. I don't know if this was really that popular, but I loved American Dragon Jake Long. Because he was a dragon, his family were dragons, I think on his mum's side, but his mum missed out on being a dragon. And then the storylines were just real cool. I really enjoyed it. The way that he was dating Rose, and Rose was a dragon hunter, and they didn't know, and it was like, how are they gonna make this work? Nah, I loved American Dragon Jake Long. I'm gonna put it under A, because I remember being like, that show slapped. Alright, next up, Cory in the House. Honestly, to be a sequel to That's So Raven is not an easy job. However, I thought they did a great job with what they had. Because obviously losing Raven was a big loss, but Cory, fuck, what's his name?
Hey, Carmen.
I can't remember Cory's actor's name.
I've been thinking about you.
Whatever, I'll put it here. Cory really stepped up and delivered on the comedy, I feel, in Cory in the House. So I'm gonna put them under B for a decent effort. Yeah, just following That's So Raven was just a really tough job. Alright, next up, for some reason on this list there was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. No Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I thought would have been there, but whatever. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was basically when they went to a school for dueling and they had all these storylines there. It started off strong, then it got way too dark, I feel. The fact that the 4th season just never even got dubbed because it was just too dark and gruesome, basically. Especially considering they were in an academy. I mean, I know like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was dark too, but like the setting just kind of made it all, the feelings change and everything. But like, hell, I enjoyed it. I'm a massive Yu-Gi-Oh! Nerd, so I'm gonna put it under B. Alright, last, but definitely not least, H2O, Just Add Water. Y'all, so I grew up in England, right? The only connection I had to Australia, or New Zealand, or Down Under in general, was this show. H2O, Just Add Water taught me so much about Australia. And it was, honestly, me growing up, this little gay boy figuring myself out, the most iconic show I'd ever watched. The acting, awful. So bad. But it just worked. And like the special effects were really good for a like a Australian kids show. Honestly, I think the special effects in H2O Just Over Water were better than the special effects in Wizards of Waverly Place. And like the tails, I'd always wanted to just like literally jump into an ocean and just start swimming as a merman. The island, the villains, oh, that whatever her name, the redhead in season 2, absolute, oh, couldn't stand her. So glad she didn't succeed or anything. I can't remember what happened to her, but sucks. And then the 3rd season was real sad because they lost Emma, I'm pretty sure it was, and then they got replaced with another girl who could turn water into jelly. Because what else are you gonna do with water? I'm gonna put H2O Just Over Water under A. Only reason it's not S is because, yeah, I was obviously sad that they had a cast change. But yeah, H2O Just Over Water still to this day. Alright, and there we have it. This is my rankings of all these like throwback Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network shows. So yeah, my S tier, Kim Possible, Wizards, Raven, Hannah, and Totally Spies. If you didn't know I was gay, I'm pretty sure that'll say everything you need to know. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this list. I think this sums me up pretty well. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. If you have any thoughts on how you would rearrange these, put them down in the comments, because obviously this is very personable to me, but obviously you guys might have different opinions. If there's any shows that you saw growing up that you think should be on here, also let me know where you put them, because obviously there were so many shows going out there, I can't remember everything. But slay, what a time. I do look back on this now and think, wow, I'm old, because I'm constantly just thinking, yeah, these shows are really the greatest shows of our generation, and every generation going forward is going to say the same thing. But that's how life goes, I guess. Thanks for watching. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me, like the video, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later.